Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 12 of the season. Now, it's been a while since the last race, but, life happens. But we're back now. We're ready to going here for the AutoZone 400 at New Jersey Motor Speedway. So, 106 laps around this mile-and-a-half track, and it's going to be Travis Heflin on pole alongside Sean English. Hunter Kiro, Roberto Brown Jr. make up round two. Then you have Jason Williams, Lana Keshiel, R.J. Bishop, William Sparks, Robert Dobbs, Dylan Maddox, rounding out the top 10 here. So we gets to go racing here. Ignore the fact that that's at 500 and not 400. There's very few tracks where I've actually changed the maps for it. As the field approaches the restart zone here. And we're racing at New Jersey. Heflin leads them down to turn number one. Three wide already. Down at the back edge of the top 10. Down the back straightaway for the first time. Sean English has lost several spots here in the opening lap. It's not good for him as they come around to complete lap number two. Or lap number one, and start lap number two. Kiro right on the back bumper of Heflin. Williams up to third. And team owner and teammate R.J. Bishop right behind him. Very nice run that the Bishop family racing cars have had here in the last couple of races. Crown Jr. up to fourth, and English all the way back to, fifth, and then English in sixth. Heflin continues to lead. Meanwhile, a side-by-side battle for, I believe that is the ninth position. That was 23 of Lana Keshiel and the 22 of William Sparks. Of course, Sparks, our most recent winner, got able to beat Cody Lamas in a last lap duel with the last lap pass back at Charlotte in the Coke 600. So now we see Crown Jr. Being overtaken by Sean English, or at least he was, but English gets the run on that outside lane. Crown gets the outside lane run. Now English falls back to the clutches of Dylan Maddox. He's coming around to complete lap number 4, going on lap number 5 now. Meanwhile, some drivers that we typically don't see in the back of the field now at the back of the field. Got Mikey Willard, Ian Wallace, got the 29 of Max O'Quinn, Tyler Blade Runner's back here. Not a great run for these guys that are back here in the early going, but we are only on lap 5 of 106. Going on lap 6 of 106 now. Bishop Family Racing teammates battle side by side now. Here comes Crown Jr. with a run on the outside to get around R.J. Bishop. Seems like the outside lane is the lane you want to be in if you want to make a pass here. Of course, it was announced that a updated Ford Mustang body will come around for the 2024 season. Still not expected to be announced which model of body the Chevrolet teams will be using next year, considering that the Camaro is going out of production. Rumors are speculating that it will be a returning name brand, or rather, a returning model name, but it will otherwise use the same platform currently used by the Camaro. As we see Crown Jr. making an easy pass on 15 of Williams. Now here comes R.J. Bishop trying to get around the car he owns. And not able to do it. Looks like the high lane is the lane you want to be in if you want to hold somebody off here. Mercedes and Toyota have also announced that they are planning on bringing in a couple updates to their models that they're going to be running next season as well. Dodge, very little has been said in that way. It's not expected for them to bring in really any changes outside of maybe a graphics change for the doors. Man, the top two have really checked out here. Heflin continues to lead with the 92 Kiro right behind him, but they are gone. Crown Jr. still runs in third, Williams in fourth. RJ Bishop runs out the top five. English has car 6 in P6 right now, running that tribute scheme to Ken Block still, with Alpine Stars as the sponsor. Got Maddox 7th, Keschel 8th, Robert Dobbs 9th, and Steven Merzlak, who really needs a good run. He's not had really the finishes he's been wanting the last few races, up here in 10th. Got 2022 Daytona 500 winner Ryan Vaughn just outside the top 10. You got William Sparks, his teammate, in 12th. Then you got Fedor Keen, a two-time winner this season, running in 13th. And you got this year's Daytona 500 winner, Harold McGranger, in 14th. And rounding out your top 15 is the 83 Richards. And we have a three wide here as the Penske duo gets around Merzlak, as does the 33 and 57. Merzlak had a big time issue in turns 3 and 4. He's going to be able to at least hold off McGranger for the spot. Here comes the 80 of Jensen Nomina now to try and take that 15th spot, or 14th spot, I should say. And now with three wide once again. Remember, this is a battle for 15th, and they're racing like it's for the win. Now teammates side by side, the 84 and 83. Looks like Arnstruff was able to get the spot for now. But I do believe it is McGranger now in 15th. As we see Penske teammates up here battling side by side. Don't believe Sparks is going to be able to get around Vaughn. Again, he is getting a push from the 33 of Keene right behind. As the top two drivers have been caught by the rest of the field. Heflin has pulled away from Kiro a little bit, but Kiro's now under fire from the 37 of Crown Jr. And as we see, RJ Bishop has gotten around the 15 of Joshua Williams. Or Jason Williams, I mean, sorry. So now we see English trying to get to the inside of the 15 in turn 3. Not going to do it this time by. So he's going to remain in the 6th position. And Sparks has gotten around Vaughn for, I believe, that is 10th. So the two once again in 11th position. 33 Keene in 12th. Merzlak back up to 13th because he's gotten around the 80 of Nomina. Crago up to 15th. And McGranger back to 16th. Then you have Foxen and Richards. Then you have Armstrong, and rounding out the top 20 is the 90 of Um, Brajan Stojanovic. English still trying to find a way around the 15 to crack back into the top 5. Got to run here, exiting turn 4. Can he do it? I think Williams had him at the line, but he's clear of the 15 as they go into turn 1. But Williams able to drive back to that outside, and I think will clear English going into turn 3. In fact, not only will he clear English, but so will Maddox, who now takes the opportunity to get around to 15 with a whole head of steam. And will take that 5th position. Already coming around the complete lap 22 of 106 here at New Jersey Motor Speedway. Laps tick away quickly here. Now Heflin under fire from Kira, who's under fire from Crown Jr. Big 3 American manufacturers battling it out here for the top 3 spots. Top 4 if you want to extend it back to RJ Bishop. Field run is expected to be about 10 laps past halfway or so. So we're looking between laps 60 and 66 here, roughly give or take. So RJ Bishop on run onto the inside of Crown Jr. for 3rd. That's going to allow Kiro and Heflin to pull away just a little bit. Crown Jr. holds out the 98 for now. Looks like English has lost a spot to the 23 of Keshiel. Grego's gone around Nomina by the looks of things for the 14th position. So we look through the field here. Cody Goforth, not quite in the top 20. Still chasing that 90 car for that 20th position, I do believe. So we're already on lap 29 now. Jr. still holding off the 98 of Bishop. Yeah, it looks like Cody Goforth is in 21st still. Henson Jr. in 22nd. Then you have Brett Kenningberg, who's running in the 23rd spot. So not a good run for him. Definitely not a good run for defending champion Cody Lamas, who runs 24th. You have running up the top 25 is Ray Akita. Then 26 you have 3 of Brandon Hancock. It's not been a good year for that team, just overall. Of course, a lot of changes off season, a lot of unfortunate circumstances may be affecting that team just a little bit heading into the year. 27th, you see Erica Reinhardt. She's been really stellar on the on super speedways and miles to halves this year. Just hasn't been able to close out the deal. Right now, she's marred deep in the field, just ahead of Cole Dillon, who really has not had a good year at all. In fact, just back at the All-Star race a few weeks ago, he finished dead last while his team owner went on to win the race. So definitely a sophomore slump of a year for Cole Dillon. Although it has been announced recently that he does have an extension on his contract for that 60 car. Here you see Echo Evans Ross, who won back at Homestead. Became the 100th different driver to win a race in the Cup Series in NSCA history. She's marred down in the pack. Then rounding out the top 30 is the 404, I should say, not the 40, of Steffi Plaxco. And man, this is a very unusual set. 7, 24, 29, the 77, and 12, all back at the outside of the top 30 here. Santa Hero now looks to the inside of Heflin for the lead here. So we come to complete lap 33, going on lap 34 now. Already just a little, just round, if not just past halfway through the field run. Field getting really spread out here. Of course, I say that, and then Kesho looks to the inside of the 6 of English, who looks like he got back around the 23 at some point, as has the 2 gotten around the 22. And for context for lap times, they're only about 4/10 off their fastest times. They're still running 27/8. At least the leader is when it comes to that. While at least Heflin's fastest lap was 27.4. He was running a 27.8 that last time by. He's coming around to complete lap 36 already. Great runs by some of the more maybe not top teams. You have Lionheart Racing, who, well, I did mention does have some, or did have some unfortunate circumstances surrounding the off season. They now have Roberto Crown Jr. going for second on Hunter Kiro. And unfortunately, not going to be able to complete that pass. In fact, Hunter Kiro is going to pull well away from the 37. Now, that's going to allow RJ Bishop, who's the owner of a team that's really been a back marker the last few years. Uh, he's running in 4th right now, while his teammate runs in 7th. So, of course, Jason Williams was brought in due to the injury that Theodore Cox received back at Pensacola earlier this season. So Jason Williams really starting off, or really clicking off some strong runs in that 15 car, of course. It was a contract year for Theodore Cox, and Jason Williams running as strong as he is, really going to have to put pressure on Theodore Cox, you'd imagine. And of course, Dylan Maddox, who has been more or less the black sheep of Steven Merzlik Racing when he raced there in the 7 before Ilana Kiro was brought in, and then really has not done all that well and run for backmarker teams pretty much his entire career. Moves over to a team that didn't qualify combined 24 times in the 32 races last year. And not only has that team won the Daytona 500 this year, but Dylan Maddox has actually been consistently a top 15 driver throughout most of the year. So fantastic run for that Queen City Racing crew. And of course, well, we did mention earlier that Sean English won the All-Star race. That team has been off for much of the year. As we see Heflin pulling away from the 92 Akiro there just ever so briefly. Then Red Bull Racing downsized to just a single car team this year and has been running fairly decently with just that one car with Alana Kiro, or Alana Cashiel, I should say, behind the wheel. Uh, Mercedes AMG Motorsport, uh, new team, rookie driver this year. They've been fairly consistent, but also inconsistent this year. So see them in the top 10. In fact, running ninth right now. Fear is a good day for them. Team Penske, of course, the top team, and they've actually been off this season, just like English Motorsports has, and Craig Autosport, and even Merzlik Racing has. So really, having a driver in the top 10 is pretty phenomenal, and even them having William Sparks win last week's race, yeah, definitely the less said the better for their season overall. Meanwhile, McLaren Racing has 2 wins this year, when previously they had none, as has their driver Theodore Keen. So, great season so far for them. He's currently running 11th right now. So, interesting to see what he can do. Of course, William Sparks, we've already touched on multiple times. Of course, won last week at Charlotte. Well, last week in universe, I should say. And now he's going to actually pass the Dorkeen for 11th and get right back behind his teammate here. And meanwhile, we see Crago here in 13th. The entire Crago Autosport team just been off this season. Yeah, Heflin's leading the race right now. But, like, organization seems to have just not been able to figure out this next gen car. Of course, right behind him is Jensen Nomina, the new driver for this year, replacing Ricky Foxon. And of course, we've also touched on Steven Merzlik Racing's woes this season. Of course, 2 of their drivers outside the top 30 last we checked in on them. So that team obviously struggling right now. And of course, you have Ricky Foxon, who we just literally mentioned, and whatnot. She's driving for Bledsoe Brothers Racing right now, which hasn't been the strongest teams, but still we're actually running about where they normally do. It's just the 81 of Erica Reinhardt not necessarily having the greatest of runs compared to what she's had. Rita Kita definitely outperforming her equipment, running in 25th right now, while the 04 of Safe Flexo also kind of outrunning where she normally would be running, although being in the bottom 10 drivers of the field, yeah, not where you want to be running. Of course, the less said about the days of the 7, the 24, the 29, 77, 12, better. Of course, the 99 of William Montoya, that entire Riles Corporate Racing team has just been off this season, and RTD Motorsports is usually a back 15 placed organization. So, not a good run for that team, obviously, but still, it's not unusual to see that team back there. Although the Nadia Stojanovic being as far up as he is in 18th is actually pretty good for that team. Is actually ahead of where that team normally should be. So, actually, we're ahead of a couple of Wolfpack drivers right now. Actually, all 3 Wolfpack drivers, because Kenningberg's back here just within the top 30. hovering around 25th or so, 26th, somewhere down there. Actually crossed the line in 25th, is now in 24th, so we cycle back up towards the front of the field, and nothing's changed. Heflin's still the leader. Kiro is still in second. Crown Jr. still third, and Bishop is still fourth. However, they have checked out from the rest of the field. I think that's 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 seconds ahead of the 59 of Maddox is 98 of Bishop. Like, my God. As we are roughly about 8 to 10 laps away from pit stop starting here. And the back end of the field still just under half a lap down. So the field's spread out, but it's not spread out, spread out. There'll be 60 to go next time by the way. Or wait, no. 50 to go, my bad. 50 laps remaining in this race. That's how fast it has gone by. Of course, we're now 27 minutes into recording, according to OBS, but seems like it's not been all that long. As Crago and Keen go at it for position there. And now Vaughn and Dobbs go at it for position, although Dobbs looks like he's going to hold off Vaughn. Meanwhile, up here, looks like Williams has been passed by the 6 for position. Crown Jr. had a little peek to the inside of the 92 of Kiro there for the second position. Yes, I do believe this race is going to be decided on pit stops. Like, sure, yeah, passing is cool and all, but there hasn't been much passing as the field gets more and more spread out here. I mean, just looking at the ticker here, yeah, Dylan Maddox is almost 5 seconds behind the 13 of Heflin and is already 4 seconds behind 98 of RJ Bishop, according to the last scoring loop the ticker is going off of. But still only rolling half a second off their lap time, or best lap time, so. Oh, Crown Jr. is running 8/10 off, not just half a tenth, but still. Oh, they were all running slower that time by. Holy crap, never mind. These guys are running about 8, maybe 9/10, maybe 7/10 off their best time. Oh, as we see pit stops coming down, you got 38, you got the 59 is down, 37, the leaders. We had some drivers that came in from the previous time by as well. This race could very much be decided on pit road. So we see the 98 of Bishop go around, I think, one more lap here. Several drivers can now come down pit road this time by. Now Bishop comes down, as does Williams. And Nomina comes down as well. He was third across the line last time by. Cody Goforth comes down. 43 and 82, the 29, the 0, all come down this time. So Crown Jr. got ahead of Hunter Kiro on pit stops, and they both got around Heflin. So I do believe Crown Jr. will be the leader here as they come across the stripe. Once everything cycles out, of course. Unless, of course, Bishop had like a phenomenal pit stop. Which I believe Bishop had a phenomenal pit stop. Like, he's already back up to speed. Yeah, he came across the line in first. And Sean English is in 37th. Oh, and Noman had an engine issue. That's why he's on pit road still. We're going to have to take a look back at that. But why is Sean English in 37th? We're going to take a look at that real quick. Yeah, he's 6th, 2nd, 9th. Oh, it was the pit road pit stop glitch thing. Meanwhile, what happened to the 80 of Jensen Nomina here? Did he blow an engine literally coming down pit road? He blew an engine coming down pit road and is out and is the first car out of this race. And RJ Bishop is your leader. Sean English is is at least one lap down. And Hunter Kiro is in second. And with Crown Jr. Crown Jr. still in third. Heflin has fallen back to fourth. And Craigo had probably the most phenomenal pit stop. He's up to fifth. Montecastro sixth. Robert Dobbs seventh, I believe. Yep. Sparks eighth. Dylan Monnox ninth. And Jason Williams, one of the biggest losers of the top 10, back to 10th. What an amazing turn of events. And think, RJ Bishop's still running 3/10 slower than his fastest lap. While the rest of the field is running lap times that are 3/10 faster than that and around RJ's fastest time. So this race may not actually be over just yet. As we see Blade Runner on pit road on and off again. I don't see anything indicating they had an issue. Yeah, he was back on pit road going on 63 onto lap 64, so no reason why he should have pitted again. So I don't see tire issue on the 77. up. This race may not be over. Bishop might have had the overcut, but he is running slower lap times than the other drivers here by a little over 2/10. So we are approaching 30 laps to go here. In fact, English has caught the 98. Can he get his lap back here? He's going to try with a run on the inside. It's not going to work, though. It's going to open the door for Kiro to get around the 6 on the inside. It's going to allow the 13 of Heflin to try and make a move on Crown Jr. Of course, all this fighting is going to do is going to allow the 98 of Bishop to get away. In fact, Crown Jr. is going to use the advantage of being on the outside lane here to try and take second from Hunter Kiro. And he will. English retains position ahead of these guys. And Bishop just pulls away. 29 to go at the line. As we see the 43 on pit road again. That one for a more legitimate tire issue, though. That looks things. Ooh, speaking of 3 wide. That's going to allow English to move up another spot. So I believe English will be 33rd. Technically, he should be second right now, but they are having a massive battle here. Dobbs does not want to get stuck behind the 43. Oh, and they even got a Blade Runner to deal with in this bout of lap traffic here. And once again, these 4 have caught RJ Bishop. English looks to the inside. Going into turn 3 now. Bishop able to hold on. Now here comes Crown Jr. looking to the outside of English as they go into turn 1. Here comes Kiro to the inside of the 37. Ooh, Kiro really slow off that corner. That's going to allow Heflin to get back around the 92 for 3rd. Oh, and Crown Jr. is now pitting. Crown Jr. has an issue with his suspension. You see the car literally drifting onto pit road. Heartbreak for the 37 team here late in the going. We have seen that kind of stuff before, both Crago and I forget who else, but Crago and somebody else had engine issues. I think it was Alan Blitz. Now that I think about it. A few years ago, team looks like they looked at it and said, "Yeah, it still looks okay. Head back out there and try to salvage what you can." So now we see the 6 on the back bump of the 98. Not necessarily going to work this time by. Heflin and Kiro some distance back now. 20 laps go at the line. You know, just before pit stops, I did say pit stops might decide this. And we've seen how difficult it is to pass at this track, especially in turns 1 and 2. So I might have called it correctly. RJ Bishop might win this race, but of course, it's racing. Anything can happen. Could have a late race wreck. Could have a debris caution. Any of the leaders could have an engine issue. You never know. I mean, shit, Roberto Crown Jr. looked like he was going to have a career best finish, but then had a suspension issue. Now, granted, he's still back out on track, but he's now a lap down and running in the 34th. Meanwhile, the 6th, Sean English, all over the back end of RJ Bishop, but this isn't battle for the win. This is a battle just to get back on the lead lap. And I'm not even sure Heflin and Kiro are closing. In fact, we do a lap time 27.6, 27.6, 27.6. So no, they aren't closing at all. English just practically pushing RJ Bishop around this track. Now looks to the inside as they head into turn number 3. And he's now not quite clear of RJ. Clear of RJ. Move the 6 car back onto the lead lap. And of course, RJ ran 3/10 slower that time by because of the fact that he was side by side with the 6. So that might allow Heflin and Kiro a chance to close here. Well, not if they keep on running at near identical lap times, of course. Of course, in all this, Crago moves up to 4th, Keschel 5th. William Sparks is in 6th. You got Maddox in 7th. Rubber Dobbs 8th. Vaughn 9th. I believe McGranger has just moved himself into top 10. Yeah. So obviously not the days that 77 and 43 Echo Evans, Russ, and Tyler Blade Runner wanted, obviously. And now that the 6 of English is ahead of the 98, he isn't necessarily pulling away from Bishop. And while he might still be on the lead lap, it's still not ideal. By the way, I think we just crossed into 10 to go now. Oh, we have a car slowing down on track. That's a 7 of Lana Keshiel. That's going to bring out a caution. She's not going to make it back around the pit road. That is not what RJ Bishop wanted to see. As both 5 and the 7 have had issues this lap. But the 5 has not slowed down. The 7 did. So the first caution of the night comes with 8 laps to go. And obviously you do not want to pit here. Considering you can make it the rest of the way. We'll have to see what happened to Alana Keshiel. If she just starts slowing down. That doesn't look like a tire issue. That looks more like some sort of other type of issue here. But her and Henson Jr. looked like they had a similarly stated issue pretty much at the same time. But Lana Kiro did not make it back to pit road. Henson Jr. stayed on track. First car let down is Roberto Crown Jr., so he will be waved around. And actually check that Evans, Ross, Blade Runner, and Alana Kira are all now 2 laps down. Of course, with them yeah, screw it. We'll go ahead and wave them around as well. Oop, let's not have contact with the leaders there, boys. So we do get the 1 to go signal. And no lapped cars in between the leaders and that. Hold on. And along this line, the 7 real quick. So that way Roberto Carn Jr. at least has a chance at scoring positions here. Alright, so it will be 4 laps to go at the line. Let's come off of turn number 4. Down into the restart zone once again. And the green flag is back out. We are back underway. And Heflin already immediately to the inside of the 98. Actually, clear of the 98. RJ Bishop did not get going. Crago's now side by side with the 13 here. They are 3 wide through turns 3 and 4 once again. Three to go. Heflin now on the outside. Crago down low. Man, Bishop did not get going on that restart. He's already back to 4th. Crago takes the lead ahead of Heflin. I did not expect Crago to get the jump on, what was it, 3 cars? 2 laps to go now for Crago, I believe. No, sorry, 3 to go. I was miscounting the laps. Can Heflin get around his team owner? Will he get around his team owner? Now it's 2 laps to go. Crago continues to lead. Heflin looks to the inside there as they approach turn 3. Perhaps he's setting up a move for the last lap. To the white flag. Final lap. Will we see a last lap pass 2 weeks in a row? I don't think they're going to do it. It's going to be Jacob Craig on the line taking his 2nd win of the season, I believe. Maybe his 1st win. I don't know. I'll have to double check real quick. In a thrilling and unexpected turn of events here. So it's Crago. Then we have contact further back as a lot of people are unhappy with each other, I guess. I don't know. You'd think with so few cars running into each other, because, well, you didn't have anybody running into each other until just then. And for some reason, the caution's out, even though it shouldn't be. Anyway, so as I was saying, Crago, Heflin, Hunter Kiro, Bishop, Keshiel, Dobbs, Richards, Sparks, Vaughn, Maddox, the top 10 with Granger, Merzlik, Henson Jr., Williams, Reinhardt, rounding out the top 15. Man. Norman, the only driver to DNF due to a issue with his header, I guess, after blowing it on pit road somehow. So as we get set for the next race, which will be at the famed Nashville Super Speedway, and yeah, that was Crago's 2nd win of the season. I was correct because he won back at Pocono. Anyways, so like I said, next time out, it's going to be Nashville. So until then, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we'll see you at the next race. So long, folks.